Good evening. I'm calling to order the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for September 21st, 2022. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Dawson, can you please call roll?
Mr. Dondorfer?
Present.
Mrs. Lucci?
Present. Moving on to the approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve the September 7th, 2022 regular trustee meeting minutes.
And I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The elected official reports. We'll start with Amy Dawson, our fiscal officer, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. On the agenda this evening are Resolution 2022-20. That's accepting the amounts and rates that have been set by the Lake County Auditor, something we do every year. The inside millage is going to be 1.4 for the general fund, 1.6 for the road and bridge fund. The Safety Forces Fund for outside millage is 4.0. The road levy fund is 2.0 outside millage. The fire and EMS fund is 2.7. And then the debt levy fund for the fire station is 0.6. And all you're doing is accepting the amounts and rates that have come back from the Budget Commission from their public hearing in August. And then also on the agenda this evening is Resolution 2022-21. We're updating our permanent appropriations. This afternoon, I sent the Lake County Auditor's Office an amended certificate of estimated resources, estimating that our revenue this year, total revenue this year is going to be $13,200,000. And our carryover last year, because of the fire bond funds, was $15.2 million. That is $28.4 million. We've got appropriations that I'm going to ask you to approve of $26 million. We probably won't spend all that, but because of the purchase orders needed for the fire station, that's why we're asking for that dollar amount. But I don't anticipate spending it. We legally have to appropriate for it. So, do you have any questions?
No.
I think so.
Well, then that's all I have this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not too much since our last meeting. I did receive a few calls regarding the BZA's last meeting. There was a variance that was approved regarding a final development plan in the southern portion of Concord Township. I did receive some calls from some residents adjacent to that new construction that's proposed, and we're working with them to try to facilitate some dialogue between the adjacent neighbors and the developer on some concerns they may have prior to this board's final approval of the plan. So I did have a few calls regarding that. I did entertain a couple calls regarding some concerns about the street signs that posted speed limits and stop signs in development in the Hunt Club area that had been erected since the new development went in, and then there were some concerns about where they were placed. Other than that, that was it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, it's been kind of a quiet 2 weeks. I did have some emails from residents regarding various items related to condo associations, street signs, mailboxes. Last week, I attended the OTA leadership class that I'm in, which is the 2.0, which is a great class. It's supported by Ohio State Extension, so offers great material and a chance to connect with peers in other townships in Ohio. Yesterday, I was able to attend the Lake County Development Council's annual economic forum, where we had the opportunity to network with a lot of business owners, a lot of elected officials and leaders in Lake County. There was a very well-known economist, Dr. Ted Jones, who talked about some national issues and some, projections. Obviously talked about inflation, other economic concerns, along with and he mentioned crime as a big problem that obviously affects us economically. So it was very interesting. Michelle Gilchrist from Governor DeWine's office talked about the new Intel plant in Licking County, which was the good news and is a $20 billion investment for Ohio. So that was all great. Aside from that, I look forward to the upcoming bicentennial events to continue our birthday, and just hope everyone has a great rest of their week. So we will move on to department reports with Mr. Andy Rose, our administrator.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci, members of the board, Mrs. Dawson, members of the audience, good evening. September 21st already, wow. I'll start with a few items that are on the agenda. Items C and D are resolutions to recognize two of our residents who have served admirably on our Board of Zoning and Appeals. Jim Rowe served for 44 years, and Christine Gerald, who served for 12 years. And just to note for the record, Mrs. Gerald moved out of the township last month, and she can no longer serve on the BZA. We thank them for their service, and we wish them well and success going forward. Item E is a resolution that's to release a drainage easement that the township possessed, but it's in the Canterwood subdivision. That easement is no longer needed. Thank you to the law director for the legwork in getting that paperwork prepared. So I'll request a favorable vote there. Item G is exciting. It's a conditional offer of employment for a new assistant zoning inspector pending completion of the new hire paperwork. I do have a bit of sad news. I am very sad to announce that on September 14th, I received and I regrettably accepted with great reluctance on behalf of the trustees the resignation of our recreation director, Deb Esker. Deb's last day will be September 30th. There'll be more to come on this as you know, we say goodbye probably at the staff meeting, but I just want to say right now, you know, I truly appreciate Deb's love for this community. Her passion has made recreation and community events a wonderful experience. Those are going to be some big shoes to fill.
Right.
And speaking of that, we did, in light of this news, today we posted the advertisement for the position of Recreation Director. You can find that on our website, and we also posted that to the Ohio Park and Recreation Association website, and we put a blast out on Facebook just to raise awareness. And on the website, the information can be found under the Employment tab. Also, this is another milestone because our videographer, who's in the back with the headphones on, this will be his last regular meeting as he transitions to just doing some special projects for us, but the regular grind of trustee meetings, Rick is taking a step back from, and Brian will be coming in to take his place. And he and Brian have already done a turnover. Brian was here at the last meeting. So, Rick, thank you for all of your video and edit and work. It's been greatly appreciated. And we know you're not going anywhere, but thank you for all the Wednesday nights. Back to good news, Lake Metro Parks. We've talked about this before. They will be installing the access point to the Greenway Corridor from Town Hall property starting this month. They may even start moving equipment tomorrow and Friday. The access point will be on the northern side of Town Hall Park behind the ball fields. I'll thank Lake Metro Parks in advance for their continued investment in our community, and that'll be a great addition for residents who happen to be here to catch the Greenway Corridor. And that's been a resident request, and I know Carl Dondorfer, you received a couple of calls and kind of started that ball rolling. So that's coming to fruition. Just a quick note on fire station progress. There was quite a significant concrete pour yesterday. There were concrete trucks lined up as far as the eye could see, and they got all the concrete in before the rain. The bricklayers, prior to today's rain, they started putting up the front walls. So if you look over at the fire station, you'll see the front walls coming up. And the big news is that the sanitary permit was issued. So that's good. We can start working on the sanitary system to get that hooked up to the main system.
And then finally, Rick, if you could bring up my picture, we've only got a handful more. This is a picture out of our Concord Township history book. This is a picture of Chair Factory Falls. These falls have always been a prominent part of our township. I thought this was an appropriate time to show this picture because it is absolutely stunning to go visit Chair Factory Falls in the fall. And, you know, this is significant. It goes back to the early settlers. They used this specific area to establish several water-powered industries during the early years in the formation of our township. So I encourage everyone to go visit the falls. It's just off the Greenway corridor, and that's all access to that area, and the landing is maintained by Lake Metro Park. So that's my picture for the week. That concludes my report, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, and thanks for the picture. You know, we're so lucky to have all these great parks and places to sit and view in Concord. Feel very lucky. And, you know, thinking about all the people that are kind of leaving us, I think my heart stopped a little bit when, you know, Deb sort of gave me the news, because I agree she's going to be big shoes to fill, but she's still a resident. She's still very much a part of our family, always will be. We can't thank her enough for all her passion and her commitment and just always being in a, you know, wonderful, delightful mood. She's really made my last couple years here just unforgettable.
Yeah, Deb's brought a lot of energy to the rec department. She's been instrumental in bringing the rec department to, you know, where it is in Concord Township and creating new programs and doing so much for our community. They're going to be big shoes to fill, but we will definitely miss her and thank her for her service, as well as Rick. Rick's done a great job for us, you know, here videoing all our township trustee meetings and talks to the township, and he's just a great guy to have around, and we're certainly going to miss you, my friend, but wish you the best.
But you're still going to be around for some things, so we'll still get
You'll
to
see him at Talk of the Township.
We'll see you at Talk of the Township. All right.
You bet.
All right, so thank you. Moving on to audience portion. Anybody in the audience that would like to say a few things? All right. Old business, seeing as there is none, we will move on to new business.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-20 amounts and rates.
And I will second. Any discussion?
You know, I think Fiscal Officer Amy Dawson, you know, informed our residents about that.
And I agree. So can you please call roll, Mrs. Dawson?
Mrs. Lucci.
Yes.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-21, permanent appropriations.
And I will second. Any discussion?
No.
Nothing for me. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Yes.
Mrs. Lucci.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-22, recognizing Jamie Rowe. James Rowe, I'm sorry.
And I second. Any discussion? Yes. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Resolution 2022, TAC 22, recognizing James Rowe. Whereas Mr. James Rowe, a longtime resident of Concord Township who served on the Board of Zoning and Appeals from April 4th, 1978 to August 14th, 2022, and whereas during his participation and service on the Board of Zoning Appeals, he brought forth sound guidance, enthusiasm, and integrity toward any consideration before the board while demonstrating both thoroughness and fairness in his analysis and in all of his zoning decisions. Now therefore be it resolved by the Concord Township Board of Trustees, Lake County, Ohio, that the trustees wish to extend their sincere appreciation for his 44 years of service and for upholding the spirit and intent of Concord zoning regulations for the betterment of this community both today and for many years to come. Signed, the Concord Township Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comment?
We appreciate his service. He's been instrumental in Concord Township for a number of years. He's been a great benefit for the township. He's done a great job.
Yes. Thank you, Jim.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-23, recognizing Christine Gerald.
And I'll second. Sir?
Resolution 2022, TAC 23, recognizing Christine Jarrell. Whereas Ms. Jarrell, a resident of Concord Township who served on the Board of Zoning and Appeals for the past 12 years, starting on April 1st, 2010, and whereas during her participation and service on the Board of Zoning and Appeals, she brought forth sound guidance, enthusiasm, and integrity toward any consideration before the board while demonstrating both thoroughness and fairness in her analysis and in all of her zoning decisions. Now therefore be it resolved by the Concord Township Board of Trustees, Lake County, Ohio, that the trustees wish to extend their sincere appreciation for her 12 years of service and for upholding the spirit and intent of Concord's zoning regulations for the betterment of this community, both today and for many years to come. Signed, Concord Township Board of Trustees.
Any comment?
I would like to thank her for her years of service here. She has also been a great contributor to Concord Township, serving on the board, and we thank her for her service.
Yes, Christine, thank you so much,
Thanks, Chris.
and good luck. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-24, release the existing 20-foot drainage easement.
And I second. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve effective 9/17/22, Operator 1, Step 3 increase for Chad Gillenwater, $26.16 per hour.
And I second. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye. Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve a conditional offer of employment to Selena Satka for Assistant Zoning Inspector at $45,000 annually, pending completion of new hire paperwork.
And I second. Any discussion?
It seems like she's a very qualified candidate from what we've reviewed. She's interviewed with several of the staff here. She's replacing Marty, who is retired from Concord Township, who did a phenomenal job. But it looks like she's going to be a great fit for Concord, and we're looking forward to bringing her on.
Yeah, I agree. She seems bright. She seems motivated.
Yep.
A good background, and we're excited. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve.
No, you're setting, sorry,
Oh.
it says vote, but what you're really doing is setting the public
Okay.
hearing.
So we don't need a vote.
You
It's
need to set
just-
the public hearing for the proposed
set a public
amendments to the
hearing.
Concord Township zoning resolution text and map regarding the Town Hall Neighborhood District. It's recommended by the Zoning Commission and further outlined in the attached letter dated September 13th. So,
Thank you,
So
Mrs.
we're going to do
Dawson.
that prior to trustee meeting.
October 5th.
Madam Chair, I would recommend that we do that at 7:15 on
October 5th.
October.
October 5th, and then we can start the regular trustee meeting upon conclusion of the public hearing.
That's fine.
I'm good with that?
Yes.
So we'll set that for October 5th at 7:15 PM. Moving on to future meetings and announcements. Mrs. Dawson?
thank you, Mrs. Lucci. On the 24th of September, that's this Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Noon sharp, there's going to be the Community Shred Day here at Town Hall campus. Please see the website for all the specifics, or feel free to call our staff here. You will not be allowed to wait. So there will be service department people there. They're happy to help you with your maximum three boxes of shredding, and we're happy to see you on Saturday. September 30th at 9 a.m. there'll be a staff meeting here at Concord Town Hall. On October 4th, Tuesday, 7 p.m., Zoning Commission here at Town Hall. On Wednesday, October 5th, from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m. will be the regular trustee office hours. The public hearing to go over the proposed zoning resolution text amendments will be held at 7:15. And immediately following, or at 7:30 p.m., the regular trustee meeting will be held here at Town Hall.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. So this concludes our meeting for this evening.
Have a good evening.